So now that you have this transaction, you're not going to be able to make good decision unless you have good reports. So let's figure out how to get the actual versus expenses. So once again, we go into our report and we'll create another smart view, and in this case it's going to be actual versus budget. This will actually this is part of my reporting module. This will get the project expenses, okay, and versus the budget. Okay, so to do this, we first figure out where are we going to get the actual, and we can get the actual from, we can get the budget from our projects. Now I'm going to put it project by expense by summary here. Now if I wanted to see how the system works, I can always look at the ER diagram, and it can tell me that if I were to look carefully, I have my project here and I have my field called my budget here. My budget value is here, right? At the same time, I have my expenses, and my expenses have the actual. So to do the report, I need these two tables, my project versus my expenses. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to join back to my expenses list. When I look at it, it will now tell me, hey, please connect the project ID equals to the lookup, and it knows this from my ER diagram, which I just showed you earlier. Now obviously I am going to now group the value, okay, and I'm going to group the value by project title, the project title, which is a project name, right? And what I will do is I will take the minimum value of the budget, because I don't want to group it, and I will sum it against my project expenses. So I will just take my project ID as well, and now I can save this. So once I'm done, I will now build a chart, and in this chart I will select my project summary, okay, and I will select the type of chart type which I want, and I'm going to use the column type. Once I have that, I select my category. Column is project title, and the value that I'm going to use is the project ID, and I'm going to show the budget value, label it as such, and I will show the actual and I label it as such. Now I go down into my label and I select the different label I want, project summary, and I can go in and say if I click on the chart item, I even want to drill down. In this case, I will drill right into my project workspace, and once again it reminds me I need the project ID, which is now part of my category ID in my chart element. When I save this, okay, I can select the size, I save the report, and I will drop this into my report page, and I'll put it in the header section. Save, and voila, I am ready to go, and my report is completed now. And once again, why do we have this high expenses? It was because someone bought a expensive car, and I'm done. Now that we have completed the system, let's review what we've actually built. So within the system, you are able to see all the resources, all the pages, all the custom lists that you've actually used in the solution. You are also able to see it by modules, which is essentially the different components of the system. So if we look at, say for example, the default web page, we'll be able to see a particular project, and let's say you want to go into our project listing, we double click on that and immediately we can see this. So you have a quick view to actually assess the entire functionality, so that it's easy for you to discover and change everything as you want.